secret. And if you're out there looking for a job, you need to work on that resume, make it more desirable, make yourself more desirable. Randy Wood joins us with some tips this morning. Morning, Randy.
Good morning.
That resume is 8.5 by 11, but it's you. It's the way you present yourself. And sometimes we're not really looking at it the same way someone who might be hiring is, right?
Well, that's true, and certainly you want to incorporate keywords on the resume, and you want to try to tailor it to what the employer is looking for. But let's face it, the dirty little secret, especially in this tough economy, is that, Brad, guys like you and me, a little bit old, and they're
Speak
never
for
going to
yourself,
come out.
mister,
They're never going
who
to
just had a birthday, by the way.
Today.
Yeah, good for you.
They're not going to come out and say that. And the concern isn't, especially in your job is not physically demanding. If you were a construction worker or something, I could see where age might really be a germane topic. But the reality and the point the employer is arguing isn't that you can't do the work, it's that I can't keep you happy dollar-wise, and I can't keep you. So do I want to invest time in training?
They're not going to come out and say that, though.
If they do, they're a fool.
Yeah. So
I know a good attorney we can talk to, but...
Okay, so how do you address that and make them comfortable?
Well, and there's no foolproof way to do this.
Right.
But I think what you need to do is to be realistic with them. First of all, don't argue the fact that I bring great value. Yes, you can do that, but they're not arguing that you're a poor worker. They know you're good. They know that they're getting bang for their buck. But I think what you need to address is their concern that I can't keep you.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that if you like.
Right. So when you go in there and during the interview, how do you address that? You say, I have the skills, I can do what you need, and that's kind of the same kind of plea. But you need to, as you said, tailor it to what they're looking for, right?
Well, you do, and if they don't bring it up, and again, it's an awkward topic, they might say, I don't know if there's enough challenge for you. That's code for saying,
you're going to be here 6 months and out of here.
Right, and so what you could do is, you could try this. You could bring it up yourself and say, if I'm in your shoes, in my case I've been in that hiring seat. One of the concerns I have when I look at somebody is, are they likely to stay? And if your background is one that shows you have a long track record at companies, then you can point to that.
Sure.
Now, in this economy, that's not the case. Many people have had to bounce around out of necessity.
Right.
But I think what you can do is you can talk to them from the heart and say, the job that I had 2 or 3, 4 years ago, that's gone. I've had to readjust my family's budget. And like the government should be doing, we've had to tighten our belts, and we've come to live within our means. And I realize that this position is paying less than what I would have made. But the reality is sometimes you do need to take a step back to take a step or two ahead. I just want you to ideally look at me for what I can bring to the table, and let's work something out.
You're telling them, I want to invest in this company with myself. I want to be here. I want to be here for a while. And as you said, if you've got a resume that shows that track record, you're answering their question that they're maybe afraid to ask.
Exactly, and it helps put them at ease a little bit.
Now, this is a big problem. You got a lot of men and women in their 50s losing that job. And we say in terms of men, but a lot of women
we know
facing
people like that.
A lot of people facing the same thing. Is that necessarily what every employer wants to hear, or do you have to play it case-by-case basis?
All you can do is just lay out how you feel about the situation. I mean, in reality, they're looking at it and saying, could I hire somebody for $15,000, $20,000 less? Reality is they could, but then again...
But that value question comes back to, say,
yes.
I'm worth more because... And that's where you come in, right?
And just as a real quick tag along on that, it's the same thing if somebody does not have a college degree, but they have 25 or 30 years experience. At what point do you begin to say, how important is that degree versus what somebody can bring to me now? Because ultimately, my role in a company is to make sure this thing ticks. And if you're part of that puzzle, then great. And if it costs a little bit more, then you need to show value.
I'm going with a guy with 25 years experience in that case. Randy, thanks very much. Great advice.
You're welcome.
Tell you what, his website too, woodengroup.com.
Correct, yes.
If you want to check out and maybe get some more ideas there. Emily?
I love that you brought that up, just because you